In one of my previous videos, I repositioned the foot pegs on the right side of the bike. And today I want to do the same on the left side. And yeah, I also made a video where I cleaned some of the parts. The side stand is now bare metal, cleaned and nice, and also the foot pegs, everything is ready for the modification. The side stand is a bit, worn. So I think I will try to improve this by weld on some more hair and tighten up the holes to the screw so it's not as loose as it is now. But the primary task is to move this foot peg so it's lower. But let me take some of the parts of the bike first to remove this gear shifter. Then I can take off the foot peg. And the idea is to put it somewhere here. To get better access, I will also take away these other parts. You might notice I have some markings here. That is because I've already prepared and done some fabrication. So I've done some measurements and yeah, let's see how it goes. Let me quickly show you the solution on the other side of the bike. I made this bracket. I had these two mounting holes on the foot shield. So I utilized them. There is a bolt welded in on this end, and there is a bolt that goes into the center of the tube that's in the middle of the bike here. What I will try to do is to make a similar solution. I have made this bracket, similar one, for use on the other side. Pre-drilled some holes and threaded them. So what I want to do now is to use this threaded steel bar with a washer on the end here and put that through the pipe in the center here, so I can have a similar mounting mechanism on this location on the other side. And then I can put on just a nut here instead of the bolt. And let's move back and see how this will look like on the other side. So now I have one bolt to mount my bracket, but I need a second one at the rear end. I've already threaded this one, so I can insert this bolt. I will weld this on. So I need a mounting pair, so I plan to actually weld on this. I just welded together two nuts and drilled out the hole. So it's got a bit sturdy, so this one will be approximately here. So then I have the possibility to mount this securely in two places. What I will do is to just put on the nut here and then tighten this like that. And then I can put on some spot welds on the top and bottom here. And the last thing is of course the foot peg. And I've already prepared the threading in the center hole here, but it doesn't fit this long bolt. This is holding the gear shifter as well as it's holding the foot peg itself. And of course this bolt is far too long. So I'll cut it and thread it and try to mount it there. And I will probably also weld this on so it will not turn as you drive. It should be solidly, securely in place, this foot peg. Yeah, that is a plan. So then some welding here and cutting of this bolt, and to avoid getting metal debris into my threaded holes there, I put on this sheet of metal just to protect it. And then, to finish up, using this polishing flap disc, It's really satisfying. Makes the surface completely smooth. I don't have this threading size that is on the bolt originally, so I am using 12mm 1.5. It's the finest coarse on the threads I have, so I will try just to thread over the existing thread so I can, hopefully easy get into the correct position as I go along. Let's see how this goes. Okay, this will take a while. Let me do the threading and get back to you with the result. Okay, that's it. That took quite some time, but finally it's done. So the bolt is now threaded further down. And I actually had to use a file to slim down the diameter because it was 12 exactly, and maybe this is just a bit small for threading 12mm, so I filed it down to 11.7, 11.6, so the tool managed to thread it. Yeah, so this bolt goes now through here and the thread goes all the way. And then it's supposed to go into here, so I need to cut the length so it barely goes through this one. The bolt is cut to the correct length and it's put on the bike here with the bracket, and I'm now ready to weld. Couple of tacks first just to make it sit, then I will take it apart to get better access. Anyway, I will test everything before the proper welding. So okay, some welding and it's soon ready for the testing. It was quite hard to get access to any good weld, but let's see if it works. Okay, pretty lame weld underneath there, but it was really hard to get access to it. But I will check if its position is suitable. And then I will do a proper weld and clean up this on the underside here and try to make a better weld all around. Yeah, so this now works as intended. So then, let me take a look from the top of the bike. Looks to be okay. I think we're at it here. So then I will just do the final welding and I think we're done here. Not sure if you can see it, but I made a chamfer on each side of these two metal pieces. So when I put in weld here, I can make the weld go flush. I will probably grind down and polish it to make it as flat and nice as possible. On the end and the underside, I don't bother. That will not be very visible, but now this piece is ready for welding. And yeah. And if you're wondering what tools to use for a job like this, well, you can see it's more or less all laying around on the floor here now. But the welding and grinding is done, so it's time to put it all together. I added, 2-3 millimeters, perhaps 4 some places of material here by welding on. There's still some play here, but this will be sanded down, epoxy primer and painted. Same with this one, so I need to have some space. And there is also a nut on the back side here, like this. And then the spring. It's barely possible to attach it without a plier. Now the side stand is a bit better, not that much play. And then let me continue with the next part. Then comes the foot shield. Let me move the camera a bit. Then comes the holder for the gear shifter. And then comes the actual gear shifter. And of course, yeah, this arm is now too short. So I need to cut it, weld on a piece. And that wasn't too hard. You might see my weld. I found a 9mm steel rod I had laying around and welded it on, so it's a bit thicker in the middle here, but I used my polisher and did my best. So let's see if this works now. I extended it 8.5 centimeters. I measured that should be approximately the correct. And now I can adjust using this one. And of course I can also change the position there. I should maybe put some grease in there. Of course everything needs to be taken off again and be rust protected and painted. But yeah, maybe I should test it to see if the seating position and the gear shifting still works. Yes, this feels okay. Very nice. And the gears? Absolutely. Well, I have no chain on, I have no clutch on, so it feels like it's working. Excellent. Maybe also check the side stand. Yeah, it seems to work as well. Maybe the bike is a bit more in the upright position now, or like not leaning too much over. That's nice. Great job! Clap on my own shoulder. And great job to you as well if you stayed this long in the video. And if you want to do me a favor, please subscribe. It would really help me a lot. Have a nice evening, morning, afternoon. Have it just nice.